All right, welcome to the webinar today. Really glad to have you. I see a lot of new names and some returning names. So I'm really glad to have all of you here in attendance today. Today we are going to do our usual, practice, our question and answer session for Pronunciation Pro students. So all of you who are attending here today, we'll make sure that we get to all of your questions. And so that questions box, you can write down all your questions. I do have several questions that were emailed to me by a lot of you that are here today. So we'll go over those together as well. One thought that I just wanted to bring up here at the beginning, something that I've been thinking about, is this idea of nothing worth having comes easy. And I've been thinking about that recently as I've been working with my students. And one thing that I'm incredibly grateful for is that my students tend to get this concept. There's a lot of talk of, a lot of people out there will say, oh, it's easy and just do this easy thing and you'll get these incredible results. Well, the truth is that nothing worth having really truly comes easy. It might be, and let me clarify the difference between easy and simple. And one thing that I think there's a big difference there is that easy is something that's just like, oh, anybody could do it, and you don't have to put a lot of time or effort into it. It's just easy. Simple is it's not complicated. It's not complicated. It's, you do this, 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 and this, and you'll get the results that you need. And what I like to say is that the Pronunciation Pro program, it takes work. It's not something that's going to come easily. It takes time, it takes effort. Being able to speak English clearly and fluently just takes some time, it takes effort, but it's not complicated. And that's what we've tried to do here at Pronunciation Pro, is make it as simple as possible. So when you sign up, and a lot of you have already experienced this, all you have to do is take, we hold your hand and guide you step by step through the program to make sure that it's simple for you. Still have to put the time in, but it is simple. Okay, so let's go ahead and with this concept, with this idea, and one thing that I love is that you all get this. That's why you're here. That's why you're putting in the effort to come to these webinars, and you're putting in the effort to go through the program, is because you understand that anything truly worthwhile takes some effort, it takes some time, and you're willing to do it. And that's what's so fun about working with all of you, is because you get results. You get the results that you need because of the effort that you're putting into it. So thank you for being here, and thank you for the effort that you're putting in, and I know it will pay off as you go through. All right, so let's go ahead and just talk. I'm just going to give a tiny little intro, or a little update, I guess, for those of you who come to these webinars frequently, but I'm currently on vacation with my family, and last week we went on a big camping trip with my family. And actually this concept of, good things take hard work, camping is kind of one of those. For me, I didn't grow up camping, but my in-law family, my husband's family, all camp. And so my husband and I have been married for 12 years now, and he is one of 6 kids. And there are a lot of cousins and family and everything, and we all get together usually about once a year to go camping together. And it's always a lot of fun. It's always a lot of work, but it's always a lot of fun. So we're glad to do that. And so that's what happened last week. And again, it wasn't easy at first for me because I hadn't done a lot of camping in my life, but the more you do it, the easier it gets, just like with pronunciation practice and English. The more you do it, the more you practice, the more you get that repetition, the easier it becomes. Okay. Oh, and just another picture of all of us we went on this really long hike with all these little kids, and a lot of hard work, but it was wonderful at the end. We got to see this beautiful waterfall at the end, so it was wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the questions that I've received here via email. Now, the first question that I want to go through, and I am actually I can't see your questions without kind of going out of full screen mode here, but I'm just gonna look real quick and make sure. Okay, make sure that the questions are there. Okay, just wanted to make sure we weren't missing any questions. So I'll jump back in here. Okay, so one thing, one question that I got was about numbers, okay? And I've actually had a few questions about numbers recently. We did a little bit of work with that last week, but I want to go into more detail about numbers and make sure that we all understand how to pronounce numbers. Now, the alphabet and numbers are things that I know that a lot of my students have a hard time with, especially over the phone, being able to be clear in the letter names and the numbers. Now, the English alphabet, the letters, I have a bonus lesson in the bonus lesson section of the Pronunciation Pro that go through all of the letters of the alphabet, the English alphabet, and how to pronounce each of those. So be sure to check that out and practice those if you're finding that when you're on the phone or when you're speaking to someone and you're spelling out your name, for instance, that you're not confusing different letters. So that's important. Another thing here is numbers. So let's go through. First, I'm going to go through kind of 1 through 10, make sure that we are very comfortable with the pronunciation of that, and I'll go through that quickly. Then we'll go through the teens, the tens, and then kind of the rules that go along with when to stress which words and what kind of reductions are common and things like that. Okay, so I'm just going to go quickly through 1 through 9. So there's 1, 2, 3, and it has that voiceless TH sound, and the R. So you want to make sure that if you're having a hard time with the TH sound and you tend to roll the R, make sure you slow this one down, get that tongue in position, 3, 3. And it might take slowing it down to get that THR combination. 4, 4, 5, 5. So this has that long I. So we're going to say the letter I for the vowel. 5, 5. So if you don't get enough movement with that long I vowel, it'll sound like fuv, 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 or fiv, or something like that with one of these shorter vowels, and that can cause confusion. 5, 6. So that X sound is kind of that KS. 6, 7, 7. So yeah, a reduction that kind of happens is that in at the end. 7, 8. 8 has that long A sound, and then the T. If you don't get that long A sound again, it's gonna get confused. Et is not it. A, 8 is correct. 9. Again, these long vowels. So 5, 8, and 9. Be very aware of those long vowels. And actually, I'm going to do 10. So 10, 11, 11, E, and get that long E. E, 11, and 12, 12, 12. Now that V might be complicated for some of you. Va, 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 va. So make sure you get your top teeth on your bottom lips for that V. V, 12, 12. Okay, who wants to try these for me? I want someone to volunteer. And just if numbers can be tricky for you, raise your hand in that box if you'd like to try saying these numbers for me. Anyone want to volunteer? Check the questions box too. Make sure. Nobody today, huh? Okay, I'll keep going if there's no volunteers, but all right. I really want you all to participate through this, because the more you participate, the more you're going to get out of it. Okay, so let's go now into the teens numbers, okay? Teens. So here are the rules with the teens. Teens, because a lot of times I'm hearing, okay, how do you know 13 from 30? Teens, you really stress the t sound in it, and it's usually stressed in that second syllable. Now if I'm going 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, the new information is that first part of the word, So that's going to be stressed. But in other situations, like I have 15 minutes left, or can you give me $18? We're going to stress the teen. We're going to stress that second syllable and get that teen. Okay, so it's going to be 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, let me go back here. Okay, so these are all the teen numbers. So you have that teen that's emphasized to get that. Again, those long vowels, 18, 19. Okay, now 5, 15, 5 changes from that long vowel to the short vowel in the 15. All right, we have anybody that wants to try these out? Okay, Sunny, we have a volunteer here. Hi, Sunny.
Hi, Annie. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. Glad to have you back. Okay, do you want to try some of these numbers? Are you wanting to do the teen numbers then?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead and do these teen numbers for me.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Good. Okay, I want you to do the first two only because there's that TH sound and the R that I want clearer. 13.
13.
There you go.
14.
Good. Good. Okay, so you're getting those. I like how your R's coming along. It's getting much better. Okay? All right, good. Thank you, Sunny. Okay, so now let's go ahead and head into the tens numbers. Okay, so tens are like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. Okay? So what we want here is we have more of a D sound. Instead of that T sound in it, we have a D sound, and it's usually first syllable stress when you're just saying that tens number alone. Okay, so 20 is actually an exception. So 20, it can either be 20 with that T sound, 20, or 20. You'll probably hear a lot of native speakers kind of drop that T sound and just do 20, okay? 30, notice that if you write it out 30, it's going to have that T sound, but native speakers are going to reduce that to the D sound, 30. So that will actually, if you change it to a D sound, it won't be confused with the 13, because the 13 has the T, 30 has the D. Okay? 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. Okay, so we have those with the D sound in there. All right, so now let's kind of contrast these. So I want somebody to volunteer and kind of do the 13, 30, 14, 40, 15, 50, and make sure that we can get the contrast correct. I'm going to come back over here. All right, Vasantha, yeah. Vasantha, you there?
Yes.
Okay, you want to try this for us?
Yes.
Okay, good. Go ahead, 13, 30, and then go down.
13, 30. 14, 40.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. I heard more of a D sound than a T sound in 14. So I want you to stress that teen and get that that voiceless T. So 14.
Okay. 14.
Perfect.
40. 15. 50. 16. 60. 17.
Here, do that one a little bit. I want a little bit stronger voiceless sound. 17.
17. 70. 18. 80.
Perfect.
19. 90.
Excellent. Okay, so Vasantha, where are you from?
India.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna guess, because that T sound, one thing that you're gonna need to be very aware of is that T sound. A lot of my Indian clients or students will be we'll say that more of as a D sound than a T sound. It's kind of, it's a natural thing to kind of want to voice that instead of leave it voiceless. So be very aware, very conscious of the that T sound in words and, in a variety of contexts, because you want to get that the voiceless and not the voiced. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good. Thank you for volunteering. That's great. Okay, good. All right, let's keep going through here. And actually, let me look and see if there's any questions. If you have any questions as we're going along, I'm going to keep looking at the questions box to make sure that we're addressing them as we go along. Because I think as we're talking about a certain concept, it's important to clarify that as we're on that topic. Okay, so now let's go through just really quickly. I'm just going to go through the 20s. And this applies to whether you're doing 20s, 30s, 40s, any of the numbers as you're going through, that we want to stress or emphasize the new information. Okay, so 20, we're emphasizing the first syllable there, just like we would, like we're saying 20, 30, 40, 50, it's that first syllable stress. But once you're kind of talking, like if you're counting, let's say, 23, 24, 25, the new information is that second syllable. So as we're going through 21, 22, 23, you'll kind of hear that pitch goes up, the emphasis goes up on that second part of the word, or the last part of the word, I should say. And so as you're going through 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so that's going to be the situation if you're counting, the stress pattern if you're counting. Now, if you're saying, I have 25 minutes, I have 25 minutes, it's more first syllable stress, okay? 25. And numbers, especially for you all, slow down on the numbers. We always want to emphasize numbers. So there's names, numbers, negatives. There's these specific words that we're always wanting to stress or emphasize. Numbers are absolutely one of them. So as you're going along and, he'll be here in about 20 minutes. We want to make sure he'll be here in about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Okay, that's emphasized. It's not, he'll be here in 20 minutes. It's not the same as everything else. We emphasize that number, because numbers are usually pretty key information as you go along, as you're speaking to someone. Okay, so I'm going to have somebody go through and just read some of these numbers for me. Let me just see if Kara's here. I didn't see her at the beginning. I think she said that she wasn't going to be able to be here. But if does anybody else want to volunteer to go through these numbers and just make sure? One thing I want to make sure is that we're getting those crisp numbers, but also that you are getting the rhythm correct. Okay, so Olabenga, perfect. I'll have Olabenga and Sunny, I'll have you both do this, okay? So I'm going to go through this one time. 158, 550, 2,000, so we're gonna stress that, 2,694, 13,927, 140,380, 1,352,954. Okay, so sometimes it can kind of be tricky how it's all worded. So Olabenga, you there? Olabenga? Okay, let's see. I'm going to keep you unmuted. I'm not hearing you just yet, so I'm going to keep you unmuted in case you can get that the microphone kind of working so that we can hear you. But Sunny, you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, go ahead, Sunny, with those numbers.
158, 550.
Oh, I'm going to stop you. I heard 150A. Okay, what are we missing?
A.
8.
And
We've got to get that ending. 158.
8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 550.
Oh, I want to hear the whole thing.
Oh, 158.
Good.
Yeah. 550.
Mm-hmm.
2,694.
Good.
13,927.
Mm-hmm.
140,380.
Good.
1,352,954.
Okay, and then 900, get that ending,
900, yes.
954.
954.
Excellent. Very nice, honey. All
Thank
right,
you.
good. Okay, I'll continue to keep you unmuted, Olabinga, in case you're able to get that, that working. Okay, so moving on. Does anybody have any other questions about numbers before we kind of move on? Ricardo, is 50 okay for 50 instead of 50? What about Ari instead of 80 and 80 instead of 80? You know what? Okay, so here's the same rule applies with the tap T rule. So that's changing, and let me just even go to where we're talking about that. So the tap T rule is changing when a T is surrounded by vowels and R vowels is included here, then the T becomes a D. So this is what native speakers will say. Now it's fine for you to use that T sound. So Ricardo's asking, well, is it okay if I use the T sound instead of the D sound in some of these? It's fine, as if your listener is getting confused between, like, if you say, oh, I'll be there in 15 minutes, and they're kind of like 15 or 50, then you know that there's some confusion there. If you're not getting that confusion, then go ahead and use that T sound. That's perfectly fine. The reason for this is just to make sure that we can differentiate the two. But if you're not having any trouble with that, and you're able to get that T sound, again, that tap T, it's what native speakers are doing, but it usually doesn't cause confusion in most contexts. But in numbers, I've seen it kind of create some confusion. That's why I teach it more so in numbers. So kind of go with that, whatever you're finding to be easiest for you and least confusing for your listener. Good question. Okay, so we're going to go on to Raul's questions. Let me just see if Raul is here today. Not quite. So we'll go through these, and if anybody else is wanting to volunteer and kind of try these out, let me know. Okay, so Raul had some questions about the difference between these three. So later, letter, and ladder. So again, we have that tap T here. When a T is surrounded by vowels, a lot of times it becomes a D pronunciation. So again, it can be later, letter, ladder. Okay, you can do that. And as long as it's not causing any confusion for your listener, then go ahead with the T sound. The T pronunciation is more British English. The British accent, they always pronounce the T. So that's kind of a difference between British and American English. Okay, but in this situation, the difference between all of these is just the vowel. So the first one has the long A, later, lay, later. Second one has a short E, letter. And the second one has a short A, ladder. Does anybody want to try those three? Vasantha and Yovelin, we'll have you both do it. So first, Vasantha, go ahead.
Yes. Later.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again. Later. Perfect.
Letter.
Ladder. Yeah, so that one drops a little bit more. Ladder. Perfect. So do them again.
Ladder.
Yeah, so start at the top.
Okay. ladder,
So this one's going to have that long
letter,
A. So we're going to say the name of the A. Later.
ladder, letter, ladder,
Good. And do the top one again.
later.
Perfect. Yep. Good. Excellent. Thanks, Vasantha. All right. Let's have Yovelin. Yovelin, are you there? Oops. It looks like your microphone might not be working right now. So I'm going to, again, I'll keep you off of mute so that when it does start working, we can get you to participate.
Oh, hello?
Oh, there we go. It's working. Good.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, you want to try these?
All right. So, yeah. Okay. So first is later, letter, ladder.
Perfect. Yep. Good. Okay. Good. Where are you from, Yovelin?
From the Philippines.
Philippines. Okay. Good. Is the vowels something that you've had to work on?
Yeah, lay, le and lay.
So lay, le, and la. So do that again.
So lay, la, la.
La. Instead of
La.
law, la.
La.
Yeah, good. So do it one more time. You did it well the first time. I was just it sounded very natural to you, so I was wondering if.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
So later, letter, ladder.
Yeah, perfect. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, so here's the next section here. There are a few other words here. Mountain, mountain, and actually, if you go to some parts of the West, you'll hear mountain, mountain, where they kind of swallow up that T sound, mountain. But mountain, mountain is the more, proper way of saying it. Most people are going to say mountain. All right, meat, and actually M-E-A-T is the same pronunciation. Meat. And then mute, mute, like I'm going to mute the television. I'm going to turn the volume off. Mute has that long U, or that, you can it has that invisible Y in it too. So when we talk about invisible Y in week 3, it kind of has this mute, mute. Okay. Anybody else want to try that? These aren't too complicated here. Vasantha, go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
Mountain.
Okay, and we're going to get that longer ow, ow, mow, mow, mountain.
Okay. Mountain. Mountain.
Good.
Meet. Meet. Mute.
Good, good. Mute. Kind of has that yeah sound in there. Perfect. Okay, give me a sentence with mountain, Vasantha.
Everest is the tallest mountain in the world.
There you go. Good. Mountain in the world. Perfect. All right, very good. Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me check questions, make sure that we're okay. Sister Miriam, let's have you go ahead. Here, let me see if your Sister Miriam wants to try some of these words. Sister Miriam, you there? Sister Martinez?
Yes, can you hear me?
All right. Which words were you kind of hoping to do? This mountain or which one?
Later.
Okay.
Later.
Let's go through these. Yeah, go ahead.
Later, letter, and ladder.
Okay, and we're gonna make sure we get a strong R at the end. Okay, I'm gonna have you do that again. Later, letter,
Later.
ladder.
Later, letter, ladder.
Okay. So yeah, getting that tongue pulled back for the R at the end is probably going to be important for you. And but those vowels, perfect. You're getting that, the difference between those 3 vowels. Excellent.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
here, I want you to say these three for me too, since I have you.
Okay, mountain, meet, meet, mute.
Excellent. All right, good. Okay, don't be afraid to volunteer now that we know your microphone's working. All right.
Thank you, Minnie. Thank you so much.
Okay, let me look at the other questions. Okay, Sunny, we'll definitely get to the R's here in a little bit. Let me just kind of get through some of these questions. Okay, so Raul also asked, and I thought this was an interesting question that all of you might be interested in, is he says, I love to listen to stories in American language, and I want to improve my listening skills. So can you send stories in American school lecture video links on YouTube? Okay, so there are three that I really like that I wanted to kind of pass on to you. Of course, TED Talks, if you've gone through my program, especially the alumni course, we use a lot of TED Talks as examples because there's a variety of topics, and they're great examples of very good, very clear, very well-respected public speakers. Okay, you don't get to do a TED Talk unless you're doing a good job with public speaking, or I think there's some on there that are just so experienced in their field that they're doing this, even though they might not be the best public speakers. But I've tried to pick out some of those better ones through the course. So you'll get a lot of TED Talks, but if there are hundreds and hundreds of them at TED.com, so definitely go there and listen to those, and it will help your listening skills. All right. Another one that I like is called This American Life. Now, there's a lot of stories. I like it because a lot of them are real life, stories of different American people and the things that they've overcome. A lot of them are, I have heard a lot of great ones about immigrants that come over and the kind of realize the American dream in their life. So very inspiring. So this is a great website for some of those narratives if you're working on your listening skills. Okay. The other thing is, I know that for me on my iTunes, on my phone, there are a lot of podcasts from different universities that you can do. And if you just do a quick Google search of free lecture podcasts, you'll find links to ones from Harvard, Stanford, MIT. Some of these top name universities have free lectures online that you can take advantage of. Okay, so listening to things, stories, narratives, speeches in English are just going to not only improve your listening skills, but pay attention to the rhythm that they're doing, pay attention to their pronunciation, especially as you're going through the pronunciation course. This pronunciation course, you'll be more aware of kind of why native speakers sound the way they do, and will give you more experience with that. Okay, another question was about listening is when I'm listening to your voice and I can understand everything you say. Okay, and so this is true with a lot of those lessons through the 12-week program. I speak slower. I'm more, I'm emphasizing certain words. In these webinars and in the alumni course, I go a little bit faster in the way I speak. But if you're watching TV, like some American movies or TV shows, they can speak very, very quickly and it's hard to understand. So recommendations for this, there's a website called the esl-lab.com, and they have dozens of different listening exercises and quizzes that go along with it. And I really, really like that website for listening exercises and practice. They do a great job. So go ahead and if you're really concerned about your listening and want to make sure that that's nice, getting nice and strong, go to this website. I think it will help you quite a bit. Okay. All right. Just wanted to check on any questions. Again, if there are any questions that you have going along, just write them in the questions box and we'll address them. Okay. So Yovelin, this is and I'm going to ask you how to pronounce your name because I keep jumping from Jovelyn and Jovelyn. Jovelyn, you there?
Hi there, Annie again.
Hi. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah. Jovelyn.
Jovelyn. Okay, so it is J. Okay, so sometimes,
Yeah.
I get conscious of that, of like, okay, should I pronounce it with an American, the way that I would do it in the American sounds, or is it, have another sound that I'm not used to? Okay, Jovelyn. All right.
Yeah.
Here is the question that you had emailed me asking about kind of that linking, right? Connecting the T to the D and, that D to the next one. So when you had said, so in this situation, we have, she walked to school yesterday. She asked me to call him. So you're absolutely right. Where in the program are you right now? What week of the program are you in?
Actually, free trial.
Oh, okay. So you're in just the very first week. Okay, so a little bit later on, I talk more about linking, but here's the idea of it. When you're linking or connecting words together, what happens is, especially with that T and D sound, sounds that kind of have similar positions in the mouth, the first sound kind of gets swallowed up into the second sound. Here's what I want you to be aware of. You always get your mouth in position for the ending sound, but you don't always release it fully. Okay, so that when I say swallowed up, I mean we don't really release it fully in that ending sound. So for example, instead of she walked to school yesterday, she walked to school, and having a very distinct, D and T sound, it would be she walked to, she walked to. So I'm getting my mouth into that D position, but the D and T are in the same position. So da 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 and ta ta ta. So those are pairs. Okay, those are pairs, meaning the mouth shape is the same. The only difference is the voicing. Okay, D is da da da, it's voiced. T is ta ta ta, voiceless. Okay, so we want to make sure. So when they're in the same position, walk to, and actually, you'll be getting into the ed ending lesson, I think next week. But walked is a T sound, like you had said, the T sound here. Walked. So actually, I'm gonna kind of go back a little bit because this is more of a T sound, and you have another T sound here. We don't go walked to. We don't say those two separately. It's just one word. So when you have an ending sound of one word, the same sound as the beginning of the next word, you just say that sound once. Walk to.
I see.
Now let's look at this one because they are different. Asked me. So you're right. They're both T's. Asked me. Okay, so this one is a little bit, you're going to have a little bit of a release on the T. Asked me. Asked me.
Asked me.
Yeah, there you go. So say those words, those two sentences for me.
All right. So she walked to school yesterday. She asked me to call him.
Yeah, and you could even reduce that even slightly more. She asked me to call him. She asked me to call him. Do that one again.
She asked me, like that. She asked me.
So I'm just hearing
him.
Ask me, but I wanted to hear asked me. Asked me. So it has to, the position has to get there for the D sound, but you don't always fully release it. Asked me.
She asked me.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so the very key thing with linking, always get your mouth in position for the ending sound, but you don't always release it fully. All right?
I see.
Because we don't want it to be she walked to school. It's she walked to school. There's a slight difference there where it sounds like the first one, we just deleted it. The second one, it was kind of there. And the same thing, she asked me just sounds like a grammatical error, right? She asked me versus she asked me. There's just this slight ending there that kind of makes it sound correct.
I see. Wow.
Okay, so just
thank you so much, Annie.
Yeah, simplifying it. Like I say, we want to make sure this is simple. Always get your mouth in position for the ending sound, and then and then connect it. And as you get further into the program, you'll learn all the rules of linking and all of that to make it more clear. Okay?
Yes. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Evelyn. Glad to have you here in the program. Okay. Okay, and then the last question, let me just make sure we have don't have it. So Vasantha, let's go ahead and go over the TH sound with you. Vasantha emailed me about the TH sound. Okay, so Vasantha, are you in week 2 of the program right now?
Right now, I'm practicing the third week.
A third week. Okay.
Third week.
So it's just that that TH sound that's causing some problems here, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get into that. So let me just add, I have this workbook for anyone who has a yearly membership. So if you've already gone through the 12-week program and you're in the alumni course, I can send you the workbook. If you've done the yearly membership, the basic yearly, the plus, or the premier, just email me and I can send you this workbook. It's all of the lesson worksheets all in kind of one space. So let me just go over to the TH sounds. So is there one that's more difficult than the other, or both the voiced and the voiceless TH sound? Vasantha?
Yes.
So is it both the voiced and the voiceless sounds that you're having trouble with?
Yes, both.
Okay, both. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and go through. Let me just make sure your mouth is in position. We'll do the voiced sounds first. So just go through some of these practice words. Are you seeing this worksheet here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So go ahead and with the voiced TH sound, some of these words.
Okay. This, that,
Good.
the.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Perfect position for your mouth. I'm hearing that voiced. You're getting a crisp sound, so we're going to jump into sentences. Okay, so go to that first one.
Okay. This car belongs to them.
Next one.
The girls spend all of their time playing.
Sounds wonderful. One more here in the sentences.
Wait for them over there.
Okay, so I heard them wover instead of over. So you're adding kind of a W sound in there. So do that one again. Wait for them over there.
Wait for them over there.
Good. Okay. Good. Okay, go down to the practice paragraph and start reading that for me.
Okay. I often tell my clients to repeat the words this, that, and these in order to practice this sound. If they practice these 3 words over and over again, they will learn to say them correctly.
Okay, here, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there, and I want you, that over and over again, get that V sound, over and over.
Over.
So start with the O. So saying you're saying the letter O. O, over.
Over.
So I want you to be aware of that O. Anytime something starts with O, make sure it's starting with that letter O. O, and not whoa. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just a little side note.
Okay.
So the voice TH sound has sounded really, really good. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me hear what the voiceless sound sounds like, because sometimes that can be a little bit trickier. So let's go into the practiced words here.
Okay, voiceless. Okay. Tank.
Okay, so what we're going to want to make sure we do, and again, a lot of my students from India, it's a matter of loosening up your mouth a little bit because everything's really tight and pop, kind of pops. A lot of the sounds tend to pop. This one is a continuous sound. Okay, so this, so it has to soften a little bit, and there needs to be an airflow. So thank.
Thank.
Do it again. Thank.
Thank.
Okay, a little bit more airflow.
Thank.
Yeah, okay.
Thank.
There you go. Thaw.
Thank.
And then the next one. Thaw.
Thank. Thaw.
Thick.
Thick. Thick.
Thief.
Thigh. Thin.
Okay. Thing.
Thing. Thing. Think. Third. Three.
Okay, and a little bit flow there. Three.
Three. Three.
Okay, good. So we're going to go slowly through the practice sentences because that's going to take some practice for you, is to not tighten everything up, because when we tighten it, it becomes this, kind of more of like a stop sound. But when we loosen it up, it becomes more of that airflow, that continuous sound. Thank you for the thermos.
Thank you for the thermos.
A little bit more airflow. Thermos.
Thermos.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, next one.
The thunder scared away the thief.
Okay, so do thunder. Loosen that up. Thunder.
Yeah. The thunder.
And
thunder.
And then I heard
Scared
T.
away the thief. Yeah, I'm conscious while.
Yeah, so that's the trick. Is it's that T, and this is why this happens, especially if you're from India, is that T sounds so much like the TH sound until you really contrast them. And then my students are like, oh, okay, I'm starting to hear that there's a difference there. But your mouth still doesn't know how to do it. It takes a lot of practice for your mouth to say, okay, wait, what am I supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to? It's a new movement. So it just takes a lot of concentration at first to get that tongue and everything in position, because it's an absolutely new sensation for your mouth. Okay, so don't despair if it's taking a little bit of time to get comfortable with that. Okay. All right, so do this one. Thief.
Thief.
Perfect.
Thief.
Yep. Okay, do slowly number 3.
3 friends and I attended the theater.
So theater, yeah. Theater.
Theater.
Yep. Good. So what I'm hearing from you is the TH voiced is perfect. Okay, that's a lot easier because it is a tighter sound and it's the, this, that, them. As long as your tongue is between your teeth, you're getting that. It's the voiceless sound that is going to be important for you to practice, okay? So just go through this worksheet that kind of has the words and sentences and paragraph. Be sure to repeat that several times a day. Think, thaw, thick, thief. Get comfortable with loosening that up a little bit more. And then go through it. In the bonus lessons, I'm pretty sure that we've posted that. There's kind of how do I know if it's supposed to be voiced or voiceless sounds. There's a lesson in the bonus lessons that kind of says, okay, how do I know if it's voiced or voiceless when I come across a word that has a TH sound? And be sure to go through that and the worksheet that goes along with that so that you can get even more practice with the voiceless TH sound. Okay? Okay, so practice that. Come back to another webinar and we can kind of check in and see how things are going, okay?
Okay,
sounds great. Thanks. Okay, now, Sunny, I think that you are going to Yeah, it was sunny. Wanted to practice the R sounds. And if there's any other questions, be sure to do it. This is the last question I'm seeing on our list here. So sunny, let's go ahead and do the R sounds. Go ahead and go through here. Okay, and Sunny, I know that you have been really working on these R's.
I know.
So it's good. That's what I'm saying. It takes work, doesn't it?
I know. Still not getting it correct.
Sorry. I'm trying to find.
I think it's read 4.
That's right. So it's past the word stress, and here we go. Okay, so what area is it? More of the R vowels?
I think the initial R, like sometimes I still have trouble saying the word river.
Okay, so I'm hearing more of a V sound, so get that R. River. So loosen up. The lips shouldn't be involved. I mean, the teeth and things shouldn't be involved. It's just that tongue. River.
River.
And the reason why your mouth is wanting to do that is because there's another V sound in that word. So river. River. So breaking it down and doing river. River is going to help coordinate your mouth between that R and the V, because it's easier just to say viver, and keep that V the same, but we got to get that R back. River.
Okay.
Okay, go through the sentence. Yeah, do the sentences for me first.
Okay. The rock near the rivers are red.
Okay, we're gonna go in and let me get my annotation tools out here. Do these two words for me. Bear River.
Bear River.
Okay, Bear River.
Bear River.
Okay, don't break between them. Bear River.
Bear River.
Okay, let's do Bear Rock.
Bear Rock.
Very good. Do that again. Bear Rock.
Bear Rock.
Connect it more. Bear Rock.
Bear Rock.
Okay, pull that again. Bear Rock.
Bear Rock.
Okay, the Rock.
The Rock.
There you go, getting that back. The Rock. Do it again.
The Rock.
The rocks near the river. We're actually going to stay away from river.
I know.
For a minute. I want to make sure that we can get stronger in that R before we go into river. So let's do the baby reached for her mother.
The baby reached for her mother.
Get that TH on mother.
Mother.
So do it again.
The baby reached for her mother.
Okay, do the next one.
The right bed will help you sleep.
Okay, get the endings. Right bed, help.
The right bed will help you sleep.
And for you, I'm making you overemphasize the ending sounds because we know that those tend to get dropped. Okay, so whenever you're practicing, always overemphasize the ending sounds until it becomes more and more habit for you. Okay, number 4.
Yes. Reading makes you a better writer.
Okay, those R's at the beginning are sounding really good. I think the river is one of those that I would say, let's hold off on that word for a little while, just because it has that V that's confusing for you. Get the other initial R sounds really strong, and then start working on river.
For the river.
Yeah. So once those other
for the word river.
Yeah, once those other initial R sounds.
R at the end.
Yeah, once those initial R's are. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, for the word river, there's like two R, so we had to pronounce it two.
Yeah, R, V, and then R combination is very tricky. So yeah, hold off on practicing river for a little while, and you know, and substitute it with another R word.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it doesn't make sense, you could do the rock that runs through near the old road. You know, but just practice that R sound in the initial position in all but that word, and then once that's strong, then move into being able to pronounce that other one. Okay.
Got it.
Okay, so I want to hear this paragraph real quick.
I hope the car will start in this cold weather. I
Okay, get
have
that
been
th. Weather.
weather weather. I have been tardy 4 times now in 2 weeks. I really have to be at work on time, especially today. My boss is starting standard evaluations of all employees. I'm nervous that my boss will think I am a bad worker and fire me. This Thursday my neighbor Mark will look at the car. I hope she can repair it so I don't have to be keeping tardy to work.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so Sunny, your R's are getting much, much better. And those ending sounds, I'm loving how you're getting those ending sounds in that whole paragraph. You were doing a great job with those ending sounds, and I know you've worked a lot on that. So so congratulations on the progress that you're making. and
Thank you.
and keep practicing because you're going to get those. Again, you're getting those that R back in that initial position. So just keep practicing it that way, okay?
Great.
All right,
Thank
good
you,
job,
Amy.
Sunny. All right. Okay, so last question. I'm seeing Jose here. Let's see, I have a problem using these sounds, the TH, the ending D, and the T in real time. How can I do to overcome it and do in a natural way? So Jose, let's talk about that for a little bit. All right, Jose, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you for answering my question.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the TH, the ending D, and the T sound. So as you're going through the worksheets, you're able to do them, but it's kind of what it starts getting into conversation, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, good. Okay, so let me just kind of hear for a minute. I'm just going to go up to the TH sound paragraph, and I want to hear that TH sound from you. Let's see. Does one seem to be harder than the others, like the voiced or the voiceless?
I think that both are pretty hard for me. Both of them are hard.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and say this this paragraph for me.
Okay. The thunderstorm on Thursday scared my cat Theodore. Though my cat is 3 years old, he still gets scared on the loud thunder. Other things also scare him very much. For example, the thin needle and shiny symbol my mother used to set with made him run away and hide behind the furniture. Our 3 years old also sent him running for cover, but that is understandable. 3 years old are a cat worst nightmare.
Okay. All right. So with the TH sound, so first I'll address the TH sound, then we'll kind of talk about those ending sounds. So the TH sound, I'm hearing it in the right position, and you're getting your mouth in the right position. You're getting that sound in there. Because even with the voice and voiceless TH sounds that were through this paragraph, I can tell that it's not comfortable for you yet, but it is in the right position. So what you're going to want to do is So you've gone through all of the worksheets and you've practiced those a lot. What I want you to do is every day choose something to read out loud. It can be newspaper, it can be a book, it can be, you know, anything that you're already reading. Go ahead and read that out loud and have your concentration on the TH sound. Okay, so it's just a matter of getting your mouth and the muscles in your mouth comfortable with that position. Until it's comfortable with that position, it's not going to naturally move into conversation yet. Do you catch yourself, like when you're speaking in conversation, do you catch yourself doing it incorrectly, or you're just not aware of it?
Yes, I can catch it. I am aware when I am doing it incorrectly.
Okay, so that's actually a really good sign, because that means you're hearing it different now. Okay, so that's the next step. So now as you're practicing it on your own daily, you know, you're kind of having that focused practice, then it's just going to strengthen that muscle, because your ears now are hearing it, but your mouth is not quite ready yet. So those muscles just have to get that repetition before it's ready to naturally go in that position in conversation. So that just takes time, you know, and the TH sound I found is always the most difficult to get that muscle, you know, your mouth trained. That's why we do it in week 2, so that you can have the whole time to work on it, because it does take time to get comfortable with that. Okay, so just keep that out, keep practicing out loud, keep that work out loud. You know, you might be practicing other things at the same time as you're going through the different lessons, but always be aware of the TH sound as you're practicing. And even if you're like, okay, I'm going to read this paragraph, this time I'm going to focus on the TH sound, the next time I'm going to focus on the vowels, or whatever you're working on that week. Okay, so it does take that focus, okay, and consistent practice. Now let's talk about the ending sounds for you, okay? So I am noticing the ending sounds are kind of a problem there. Even those, especially those S sounds at the end of words, kind of dropping some of those sounds. So what I want you to do, the trick to getting ending sounds is linking, okay? Have you gotten to the week 6 linking lesson yet?
Not yet. I am just beginning the program.
Okay, so let me give you just a little bit of a heads up so that you can even start practicing now. Is linking is the key. So linking is basically connecting the ending word sound of one word to the beginning sound of the next word. So what we want to do, and this happens, you know, this is going to happen in Spanish, this is going to happen in other languages, where you don't necessarily break apart words word for word. You know, it's not the thunderstorm on Thursday scared my, you know, that's just not how rhythm of English goes, or any language really. It's going to flow from one word to the next. So what we want to do with those ending sounds, the thunderstorms on, we want to connect it to the next one. So we want to make sure that the ending sound is on there, but we're connecting it. The thunderstorms on Thursday scared my cat Theodore. So especially with the S sounds, those should be a little bit easier than like the T and D sounds to connect. But just think, okay, linking. I'm just going to say that ending sound and connect it to the next word. Okay, so say that first. Just do the thunderstorms on Thursday.
Okay. The thunderstorm on Thursday scared my cat Theodore.
Okay, do this. Thunderstorms on.
The thunderstorms on.
There you go. You were able to get the ending on there now that time. The thunderstorms on.
The thunderstorms on.
Okay, so as you connect that, concentrate on getting the ending sound on, and then move it right into the next word. So let's do my cat is. My cat is.
Okay, my cat is.
Okay, so my cat is, you know, and that's
my cat.
Instead of my cat, you know, my cat is, or my cat is, we want cat is, and that becomes a D. That T kind of becomes a D because there's vowels on each side. Let me find another. 3 years old, he. 3 years old, he. Do that for me.
Okay. 3 years old, he.
Get that ending.
3
Old.
years.
Old,
Okay.
he.
3 years old, he.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so another thing to concentrate on. So you're going through and you're like, okay, I'm going to read this paragraph. I'm going to concentrate on the TH sound. I'm going to read through this paragraph again. I'm going to get all of my ending sounds in there. And I'm going to overemphasize those ending sounds. So you're going to be like, the thunderstorms on Thursday scared my, and you're going to overemphasize getting those ending sounds, so that your mouth and your mind kind of get comfortable with, I am going to say ending sounds. And then, and as you're doing those ending sounds, think linking, linking, linking. Okay, I've got to connect that sound. I got to get my mouth in position for that ending sound all the time, and I've got to connect it to the next word. All
okay,
right.
But I have a question in this point for you. But which could be better? First, focus on the ending sounds, and then focus in linking word, because I don't know. I think that doing the both thing at the same time is more harder, because really it's not I think that don't know how to do that. It's more than let the mouth and the muscles in the mouth
Yes.
do it naturally.
Yes.
Right?
So what you're going to concentrate on, getting the ending sounds first. So as you go through reading it and just saying every single time I'm going to get the ending sounds, even if it sounds choppy, get the ending sounds. Okay, so that's training your mouth to get in position for those sounds. Okay, instead of just kind of dropping the ending sounds, your mouth is now getting comfortable with, oh, okay, I have to say these ending sounds. Whenever I see a D at the end of a word, I've got to say it. Okay, so it trains your mouth to get that ending sound. And then once it's kind of more comfortable with, okay, I'm getting the ending sound every time I read this, then you think, okay, now I'm going to connect that ending sound to the next word and see if I can get it to flow a little bit more. So instead of it being chopped up, we're going to work on the flow. So that's the sequence. First get the ending sounds, then work on linking. Okay. Yeah, and for you, for you specifically, it's like, okay, there's the TH sound, there's the ending sounds. There might be some vowel sounds as you go along. But it's not like you're going to have 10 things that you're going to have problems with. It'll most likely be 3 or 4 things that you're having to really concentrate on. So don't get overwhelmed thinking every week I'm going to have something that it's this huge thing to work on. Because you're not going to, for you don't have to do the L's, you don't have to do the N's, the R's, you might just have to kind of smooth out a little bit of work there. So just don't get overwhelmed thinking I'm going to have so much to work on. Just kind of take it, one bite at a time, okay?
Okay.
All right, excellent. Good questions.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome. All right, excellent. Okay, so that's all we have time for today. We went a little bit over. I hope that's okay with all of you. But if you have more questions, go ahead and you can email me questions. I'll be doing another webinar in 2 weeks. So you can email me questions if you have things before then. There's the comment sections on each of the lessons that you can ask questions on. We really want to make sure that you're getting your questions answered and that you're not alone in this process. That's a big part of this program, is that you're not alone, that you have the support that you need every step of the way. Okay, that's why I say it's not easy, but it is simple, because we want to make it as simple as possible to get the answers and to know exactly what you need to do to get the results that you need. Okay, all right. So glad you could come to the webinar today. Please come again. We like to support you in any way we can, and I'll see you hopefully in the next webinar or on the Pronunciation Pro website. All right, thanks guys. Bye.